What's up, bro? It's me, Scarporin, level 60. That's right, bro. I'm not 50 anymore. Since they opened this whole thing up, I dropped some cash, you know what I'm saying, bro? Anyway, I'm level 60 now, so you gotta have a level 60 ship. My boy Rick Deuce, he's gonna show you my ship. So, if you really wanna be good in this game, bro, do what I do. Spend a little cash, or you can grind it out, bro. It's gonna take trillions of par steel, bro. Trillions of par steel when you get where I'm at. Anyway, bro, I got one other thing to show you before my ship comes up. Scarporin, level 60. Bro.
Fancy intro music, yeah! Woo! Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're taking a look at the first player at over level 50 to unlock the Corvus, that Romulan explorer that reminds me a lot of Star Trek Armada 2. I'm really curious how much inspiration the engineering and development team for Scopely took from some of these old Star Trek games and from some of the lore outside of necessarily the movies themselves, which we do see those stuff. I mean, you see the Katinga is definitely a pull from the original movies. You also see the Valdor, which is obviously a direct pull from Star Trek Nemesis. But we're seeing more and more things come into the game, like new ships and everything. That's like, that looks very familiar. Where have I seen that before? And today we're going to be taking a look at the Corvus. A big shout out to Sky. Y'all heard from Scarporin as the intro. Good to see Dreamweaver around. If you haven't seen his videos, they're hilarious. But we're going to talk about what Sky has put together in the game. Because let's be real, I'm not going to lie to you. You and me, we're not there anytime soon. I don't even have a Valdor yet, and we're talking about the Corvus. I will have a Valdor very soon, though, so stay tuned for that video dropping. But for the Corvus itself, it is a monster of a ship, and in fact, they made the uncommon 5-star ship so strong. A Corvus at tier 4 is smacking around these big max ships like the Hector and everything for the level 50s, which you can actually argue that did they make these things too daggum strong? I mean, and I realize I talk all the time that, hey, power's overrated. We don't really go by power. 72 million just out of dock is a lot of power. Screenshots available here. Now, don't worry, we have more than just screenshots for your viewing pleasure today. We've also got some good video. And they were very kind enough to provide us with a battle log and an armada where you're going to see this big player in action. And I mentioned Sky. Let me tell you a little bit about the mythos that is Sky. Sky, probably one of the most infamous whales in the world, not just on his server, but in the entire Star Trek Fleet Command galaxy. It's an absolute tragedy that he doesn't have his own system like other people. Why do some other people have got systems? Some have planets. Sky's got nothing. What's up with that, Scopely? Give Sky something. It's not fair, okay? It's not fair. Give him his own system. The man's earned it. He's earned it.
Bro.
Or better yet, he paid for it. But anyway, let's take a look at this log where you're going to see the man, the myth, the legend who owns 2 Pilums also bringing out the Corvus. Now, I did point into the dev team because you're going to see it here. The graphics for all the 5-star stuff, the Enterprise D, Damage Skin, and the Corvus that we've seen, and even the Nova, don't look that good in space. They're really blocky looking and stuff, and we put that in. Hopefully they can rectify that. I'm not sure what's going on there, but you can see this is a pretty big stinking armada. I mean, we got Katingas, Pilums, Enterprise A's. These are the big ones. And there's Vulcan War General. Always going to see our friend Vulcan right there on the side. But you can see Sky is currently at level 55, 187.8 million power, and this is them taking on a level 50 Romulan garrison, taking almost no damage, which not really a shocker when you've got a Corvus that's 72 million power. It's pretty crazy. I mean, that is more that is more than if I have 3 ships in my base at level 39 with max guns. That's stronger than my entire base defense setup. That's absolutely beguiling. It's ridiculous. And it's just a beautiful ship. I'm not going to lie, for the design team, I really like the design that they put in as a whole. I think they did a really good job. And I was really impressed with just how they came through. It actually had some Star Trek feeling designs. Now let's take a look at some of these battle logs that they were so kind to provide us. You can see we got Shogun there with the Enterprise A, but y'all all want to see this. Y'all all want to see the big one and the damage that it's dealing. You see at base, the Corvus dealing 9 million damage, 9.8 million damage on a critical. Holy crud. 9 million damage on a critical. Wow. Okay. So as you keep going, you see millions and millions, and you've got the Pilum still doing right at 1 million, but a base tier 4, I mean, just not even taking up to max tiers or anything, a tier 4 Pilum doing 3 million damage as regular shots, and just, oh my gosh, this thing hits like a son of a gun. Now you saw the crew that currently running on it with Riker only making it worse. There's a 21 million, 23 million. Oh my goodness. There's not words. You can't stop this. I mean, I'm not trying to take away from the amazingness that is this shit, but honestly, these things are too strong. I'm talking about imbalancing the game. I can hold off a little bit like a 4-star ship. Ain't nobody's holding this thing off, running the Riker Picard con setup and getting massive damage. It's easily the biggest damage numbers I've ever seen dealt by an individual ship, where we're seeing in the 20s and 30 millions. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's cool. It's also a bit redonk. But anyway, that is the battle log. And I'm sure that Gregor is going to have a great time going through this and just crunching the numbers. I didn't even look at what the mitigation was. I mean, I'm sure the mitigation is perfect because of how high level this ship is. And some of its base stats at this level are pretty stinking high. And I guess you would expect it getting into 5-star, and it's not really surprising that we already have whales who are level 55, 56, and flying up the charts, but it's still pretty cool to see it in person for yourself. And then there's summoning. Gotta love summoning, and then we call it, and we can see it in the dock now. Now we'll also say, repeating myself, I absolutely love the look of it. Now, for those who are curious, the repair costs several billion trits. No, that's not an exaggeration. And over a day of repair times. Now, the raw stats, it doesn't even fit in the dock, by the way. It's literally clipping through the dock scopely. Now, for those who are curious, the raw stats at tier 4, the raw to repair this ship, I think is like 20-something billion trit. If you had no docks, no research, 20-something billion trit, and something like a day and a half repair time. Now, that's not counting all the researches that you have and the dock bonuses that you get. But the couple things need to get adjusted. One, they need to make it actually fit in the daggum dock. And then here you can see some of the prices of going to like a Mark IV, Mark V weapon. Pretty beefy in terms of overall damage. Like I said, shout out to Scott for providing all this, and Gregor is going to go having an absolute luau going through all the notes. But man, this is a beefy little ship, and what's even crazier is the type of crews that they're using to do like the hostile hunting and stuff. And what I mean by crazy is, I'm literally not kidding you, they're pretty crazy. They sent me this screenshot. Look at using your hits. And by the way, good job Scopely for reusing skins that make no sense. The Belosian ship is the USS Franklin. Okay, the Bylosian ship is the USS Franklin. But anyway, it's a level 51 hostile, and you can see using Moreau as captain with Beverly on the side, and then Khan. It's we won't talk about the setup right now. Not that it's bad. There's just a reason I'm not going to talk about it. I don't care if Scott wants to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it. Okay? I said we're not going to talk about it, so we're not going to talk about it. But this is your first look. Even if your server hasn't seen 5-star yet, you now have. You get to see these incredibly big ships coming through, and it's going to be a big discussion, because I believe that 4-star is now getting, I mean, if it's not already viable, and just to recap, you've had biotics added to the game, you've got updates to the battle pass that now pay out more rewards, and when you hit level 40, you start getting a decent amount of 4-star. You got multiple events that pay out 4-star materials. You got loyalty chest updates. You got away teams 2.0 updates. They have really stuck the economy and put it in an overdrive over the past 6 months. That doesn't mean that it's amazing, but you now have more and more free-to-play going into the 40s. I'm going into the 40s, and I'm not even free-to-play. So it's certainly becoming more viable. With us getting into the 40s, you know, they're getting into the 50s, and I'm really scared to try to even guess at the amount of money that's been spent to get these players to like 56, 57, because right now there's no real point going above 55, but we'll cover that in later videos. Once again, a huge thank you to Ska for letting us enjoy the Corvus and, you know, see it in action in an armada and get a couple of battle logs, because I can't wait to share and break down the details and go through this ship. It's just insane. I mean, how do you get it this fast? Like, come on, just take your time. Oh, he's also got a Nova, because why not? I mean, when you're bored, why not have a Nova and a Corvus? And if you don't believe me, he's got one. Here's a screenshot with 2 discoveries, 2 Pilums, and then a Nova and a Corvus. He also has got a Max Tribune, because why not? Wow, that's awesome. If you ever wonder what I look like when I'm dreaming of that level of wealth, this is what I look like. Oh. This is what I look like. Yep. Anyway, big shout out to Scott for once again supporting the channel and giving us this video so we can put out to show y'all some of these ships, and maybe you'll see them in person. For your base's sake, I really hope not. Live long and prosper. Stay safe, other Space Cowboys. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Little box looks like this. And like the video. As L does not stand for loser, it stands for like, and that's what you need to do. Shout out also Scar Porn helping us with our intro. If you haven't checked out Dreamweaver, he's hilarious. I encourage you to. We'll catch you in the next video. Deuces, that's me. We outie.
I would like to request to Scopely to add more Klingons to the game. That is what I was told to do, and so I am doing it. Which, you know, is not maybe the best thing as a leader to just do what you're told, but it seems like a good request to make to add more Klingons. Everything is better with Klingons, am I right? I am right, because I'm a Klingon. Klingon mach tach judge! We are Klingons, let it remain. All right, Laurel's on a roll today. She's very excited.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.